Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching, thank you for joining me today. We are taking a look at Squirrel Girl, which is pictured behind us here. You can see the characteristics of the big round white eye, the weird nose that has an upward point, and then these lines that come back. Of course, you can see the vertical lines, but there are horizontal lines as well. I can see three at least. I think there's a fourth as well, but of course, with this art, different shadows and things will change the images. So it's a little tough to just show you on one example. So therefore, I have about 14 examples here of the same character that is a Paleolithic or ancient American, perhaps even Native American character here. You can see, of course, the eye is done different ways. And in this one, there is a carving for a diamond, you can see in the middle there, but there is also the hole that's left as well, which is really neat. I'll show you a few of these. So these characters repeat over and over again, and it's really fun to find them on the extremely large effigies that I could, there's no possible way I could ever take them home. But the ones that are found on the extremely large ones are super fun because you know what it is, it's kind of like a hidden secret. So these little markings and etchings and things on this black paint are intentional. That is the way that this was found in a clay pack. So everything in this site is preserved in a rich red clay, as many of you guys know. I'm going to kind of switch it up just a little bit and show you perhaps a left side character here. You can see kind of nose to nose. You can see how this one is bigger, so its eye is a little further back. This one is smaller, so its eye is kind of right, in that little area there. But it definitively has that nose, you can see. It's kind of like a bear nose. Now this one does have Squirrel Girl also on the left-hand side. So these stones, the whole crazy thing about this art is, and we can look at this one a little more for more than just Squirrel Girl, but the weird thing about this art is that, we're looking at our character there, can be portrayed with the upward pointing nose as the key. So once that nose kind of comes off of its plane and starts to go vertical, that's how you know you're dealing with a Squirrel Girl. And this one, you're just looking at it, right? It definitely does not look like Squirrel Girl at all, right? Until you get it at the right angle, and then it does. This one also has some really interesting other images on it, but I wish I could get the Squirrel Girl out perfect. I wish I remembered exactly how it went, because there's a way to tilt this in just the perfect degree to where it looks exactly like this one. And I think it's something like this. Something like this. You see how that works? So you see how that upward pointing nose comes back out, right? It's really crazy. And a very similar situation on this stone. So you can see how this stone is, it's in to modern people, to people who don't live with stone and die by stone, it just looks like a rock. Things were different for these people. They lived and died by stone. They had a much larger understanding and appreciation for every texture, every line, every color, every marking, everything on these. So just want you guys to be aware of that. 99%, I'm not exaggerating. That's what they say. 99% of our human history was spent in this age where we created these types of artifacts. Now in this one, we have a painted eye on this little character. People from all different lands and different places. You can see how this eye is big and exaggerated. It does have a great button nose, and it's like a bear face kind of thing going on, right? You may be seeing different eye carvings perhaps, but the white painted eye is the one that I look at. And then for this one, you can see how the eyelash is done over the white spot very clearly. So there's some more here. These are much larger gateways. And again, that same carving, you can see the diamond inclusion there for the eye. So, you know, the diamond shape is representative of what we're looking at. And, you know, of course, for reference, in the back there. This one's a little off-putting. You're not sure exactly what's going on. What's really neat, to go off of Squirrel Girl for a minute, there's also a really neat, weird owl, I think it is, image. Might be a human as well. But it does have, you know, two definitive socket eyes. And it kind of has like an owl nose. So to me, it looked like an owl, but it very well could be a person as well, especially as we tilt it. Maybe several portraits, so we may just be seeing the left side of a human face. You can see the eye, the mouth done, and the hair. Kind of looks like a cartoon, right? Well, we're talking about Paleolithic art here. You can see the carvings on the crystal. And if you talk to a geologist, they'll tell you there's absolutely no reason for the sharp edges and the polished edges on these stones. And I'm not going to go deep into the faces and the characters of the birdmen and everything. We don't need to do that. Today is about Squirrel Girl. And of course, I saved the best for last. This is one of those green crystal. It has a beautiful sparkly green crystal on it, which I believe is copper. We'll go ahead and take a look a bit closer at some of that stuff for you. And then I'll show you the beautiful crystal Squirrel Girl face there with the eye in there. This is also packed in gold. You're not going to believe me because people talk about all kinds of stuff all the time. You're not going to believe me. The amount of gold that's on these artifacts, it's incomprehensible. There's a lot of gold. A lot. And this is covered in gold as well. That powder that you see. But you guys can see the beautiful Squirrel Girl there. I'll go ahead and put her to what I think is my best example. The one that really shows the best features. The smooth face, the poked up nose, the eye, and the straight back hair are really the characteristics. Now, just for a bonus, if you guys have made it this long, this one has some beautiful human paintings on it. And we'll go ahead and take a look at, let's go ahead and just start off here on the crystal. You guys can see the white eye that reflects and shines right back at us. Right in that section, you see the blue eye. Now look at the details, look around it. As small as that, those little ripples and markings and things on the bottom, the pupil on the top, right in the middle there. And as I tilt this, you'll be able to see how that human silhouette comes out in the crystal, which is really beautiful. It seems impossible, I understand. Let me show you an easier one to see. I mean, every degree and angle, so as we turn it, here's another silhouette. Of course, you can see the mouth, the small little ripple. That's all you get, that little marking. And you can see how fast I can snap it to these points. This isn't by accident, guys. Go back to all of my videos, you can see I do the same thing over and over and over again, because I just have learned it, and this is why I share it with you guys. I really want you guys to learn it as well. I don't want to be... There's a lot of other people that know about it too, but there's more that are needed. So as we're tilting this away, you can see we're pointing a character to the left behind us, and we're not getting the correct angle, the perfect angle. We probably have to come up somehow like this. And that's how weird this stuff gets. It makes you twist the rock in uncomfortable ways sometimes to see the images. We'll be right there, Buttercup. My parrot is warning me that dinner is cooking. But there is a really great human silhouette. I believe it's a right-hand side, if I can remember correctly. Not really seeing it, but again, what you see as the big reflection. The reason why that reflection there and the reflection on the forehead where the third eye would be is kind of reflecting at the same time is because there is a human silhouette in this section with paint and everything on it. So I didn't want to get too deep with you guys, but just kind of wanted to show you a few of the really neat crystal artifacts here and these repeating patterns, which to a lot of people is evidence. It's beyond what you would normally be able to expect. And I mean, I can expect that human beings would make statues of their people and their friends and their family members and their characters or their gods or whatever. I can fathom that. I can. But every now and then, when I wake up in the morning, I have to look at these again. I have to look at all these bird heads and duck heads. I have to remind myself that, yep, it's for real. So if you don't believe it just yet, completely understand. But go ahead and take a look out at your creeks and your rivers and you'll be able to see for yourself. So we'll go ahead and end the Squirrel Girl video with all that chitter chatter. We have the same character here. You can see the big bulging eye, or you can see this little small polished section as the eye. And as we tilt this, we're gonna poke that nose up. We're gonna get it to where that nose kind of pokes up. You see how it's flat here? That's telling me I can't go past that point. I'm going too far if I do this. So I have to go upward. And we'll go ahead and compare it to this one here. And try to get that perfect nose and eye location with the brow and the straight back hair as best as we can. You guys can see our angles there, how they match up perfectly, right? You might not be seeing everything, but you understand that there's something going on here. And that's what kept me going at this for so long. And that's why it's brought me to the point where I'm at today, where I'm trying to kind of show you guys what's going on. So I know you might not understand it or believe it 100%, but you can understand that there's something going on. That's, like I said, the same place that I was at. And this is where it leads you. So with that, my friends, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.